does it take to be a venture capitalist? And the 10K is in which currency?
Right. So 10K was only an example. That was just an example that I used there. So because I'm talking to Africa, it can be USD, right? So we can just say US dollar as an example, right? What it takes to be a venture capitalist, it is, number one, you need to have money to invest. And then, so it depends to say, do you want to be an investor or you actually want to be a venture capitalist as a career, as something that you do on a day-to-day basis? I'm not sure, what that person actually means. Do they mean they want to be an investor? Or they want to actually be a VC?
So you could answer the question in both ways.
Right. So the first element, I wouldn't call you a VC if you are an investor at this level. You're not qualified to be a venture capitalist. It's really, you'll be an angel investor because you've got excess funds that you just want to deploy. So your qualification is more as an angel investor. Angel investor in that you've got high net worth income person, and you've got access to at risk money that you're willing to lose. Essentially, that's how I would answer it. And in terms of a career, normally, having an investment banking background is good, works to your advantage because it's all about understanding money, how money works, and investment cycles and everything else. And then number two, it is also around if you have been a founder, if you started a company, a business, and exited, you understand how to start and run a business. So your ability to manage or understand risk is higher. And the ability also to add value to those founders is higher. So so those will be your two options if you want to join forces into that.
A follow-up question, I guess, is if I bring someone with the investment, what becomes of my position, legal coverage, etc.?
If you are investing, you're investing in the startup. So you become an investor. You become a shareholder in that particular startup that you've invested in, and you go through, normal registration that comes with that. And all the legal processes that comes with you actually becoming an investor in that specific business.
Yes, thank you so much for the presentation. We're truly grateful for your time. Just to ask, if someone wants to invest in these startups before they list themselves, where do you find them? Where can one find a trustable source where can one find them before they list?
Right. So it depends. It depends with your strategy, with your investment strategy. So, like I mentioned in my slide, I said there is what I call crowd hunting, which means you are going on platforms like Crowdcube here in the UK. You know about it, or you're going into platforms like Cydius. Those are platforms that you could look at startups, and then at the same time you can then also work with a syndicate lead. So we are actually a syndicate lead. We have got startups that we work with, and that need investment. And if you join our platform, we can then be sharing those investment opportunity with you to say, hey, there is this investment opportunity. Do you want to invest in it? And the way it works is that, like I mentioned earlier on, we do initial due diligence, but then all the angel or syndicate investors, they come together and do a due diligence on that specific startup. So you select 5 people who looks at different things. One goes to look at the legals, other financials, or other things, and then come back to the whole cohort with feedback to say, hey guys, this is what we found out. We think everything is pick and span. We're going to put our money into it, and then you invest as a special purpose vehicle, a company that you set up as a syndicate to invest in that particular startup. So the benefit of that type of an arrangement is that you will be able to have direct interaction with the founders, and they're close to the startup itself, unlike just going to the platform. Not only that, you also then have an advantage. Particularly, I'm so passionate about investing in the minority, women-founded, Black-founded startups, African startups. So you have got a benefit of actually investing directly in things that are close to your heart as well.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
All right. I just posted a link of one of the examples. This is crowdfunding that you can definitely check out. Most of the people who are here are probably new at investing in startups. Could you concretely give some sort of KPI for if I want to start in a startup? What do I look out for? How do I choose which one to invest in? What are some of the key indicators to look at?
Right. So what we'll do is that for those that have got serious interest, are really interested with a potential commitment to be able to do the investment, we do some master classes where we actually go through the details of what it means and what you'll be doing to invest. So you can drop me a note to say, look, Admire, I'm really interested. And here's my commitment. I think I can be able to invest X amount per year. Normally we look at calendar year to say, okay, how much are you willing and able to deploy? And then we can have a, more detailed conversation around it. But broad brush, just when you're looking at startups, there are a number of things that you have to look at. Number one is the people, the team. Who are the founders? Are they able to execute? Have they started this type of business before? If they have not, is this an industry that they have good experience in at all? Number one. Number two, you are looking at what we call trends. Where are the trends going? Everybody may be jumping around, say, crypto and everything else, but do you really understand what's really going on, the fundamentals? As an example. E-commerce, we know that everything is digital at the moment, so you know that health tech, ed tech, for example, insure tech, fintech, those are the kind of things that are being thrown out there. So understanding those trends and what those trends will shape into in the next 7 to 10 years. Remember, you're looking at it in the long horizon. Then you are also then looking at the traction, what those founders have been able to do today, without any investment, with limited investment. It demonstrates their ability to execute a business, a startup. So those are some of the things that you need to be looking quite closely at. It's not something that you walk into blindly at all. No.
Someone has asked here. He says, you mentioned that Africa is the next gold mine. How can somebody step into that field?
So one golden nugget is tech. So I would invest in a fintech, as an example. Health insurance. People don't have access to health insurance. You guys know that. You guys know that. Right? That's why you send emergency money. Uncle is sick, mother is sick. You are wiring cash. It shouldn't be like that. There should be insurance products that are able to cater for those type of people, right? You are rather off paying, £50 a month through a insurance scheme that really works, or coming down to 20%, that means $20 subscription models, or $10 subscription models. Nano-insurance, as an example. Agriculture, you guys know that, the world will be fed by Africa by 2050, 2060. because we have got the land and it's natural land. So agriculture, health, African health is broken to its limits. There are two things that are guaranteed in someone's life. 2, 3. Number one, people will be born, which means they need hospital, right? Narrative. Number 2, when you are born, you need to eat. After you eat, you need to go to school. After you go to school, you get sick. You're back in the hospital again. And then the last thing is you die. At every vertical, there is a business opportunity from being born, getting food, getting to school, getting sick again, and ultimately dying. There is an opportunity at every junction.
Interesting. Thank you for breaking it down.